Good morning. For those that do not know, Horley is a town in Surrey, 3 miles from Gatwick Airport, about 60 miles from Brighton, 4 or 5 miles from Red Hill. And what's happening in autumn is, as you're seeing in this video, is that the post office is closing. There's a main post office in the town, that is it, and there is a Morrisons Daily, and it is closing. I don't blame Morrisons, I don't blame the post office. It's due to the actions of, in my opinion, our totally incompetent council. Now Morrisons are moving because there is now a massive Lidl store a few minutes away, but I'll go into that later. So we look at where the post office is. Now, if you walk out the post office and go to the right, there is a doctor's surgery. I will show you this. And to the side of the doctor's surgery, there was a car park. And you used to be able to park there to go to the doctor's surgery and to go to the chemist. Bear with me. Now, that chemist is now gone. It was unsustainable because they put a block of flats there. Yes, they put a block of flats there, so you can't park. So anybody that may go to the chemist and go to Morrisons or the post office, they're no longer going to go there. Horley High Street, you used to be able to park for free. You can't anymore because they're turning it into a one-way system and a cycle lane. So that's now gone. I used to do it, I used to park in the high street, go to the post office. It worked for me. I did not want to pay, pardon me, to park my car to hand a parcel over. So we move on. There is a car park across the road from the post office and the Morrisons and the doctors. However, you have to pay. So to go and post a letter, you're going to have to pay. Now, as for the doctors, you've got to remember, in the UK, for 6 months of the year, it's wet, cold, it's horrid. I will show you the walk to the doctors, and remember, when you're sick and ill and it's pouring down with rain, the last thing you want to do is to pay for park a car and get soaked when you feel ill. We all know when you feel ill, a minute feels like 20 minutes. However, having put a block of flats where the car park used to be, it's gone. Chemist is now gone. It was always going to be unsustainable because you walk out the doctors, you go to your car, you walk back, you got to wait in the chemist. It's just, we don't live in Los Angeles. I didn't even know the chemist had gone until today. Anyway, I will run through this with you and show you what it's all about. What you can see in this video, if you look to the left, you can see the doctor's surgery. Now in the background, you will see a block of flats to the right. That was a car park, and I will zoom in and show you. But what you will also notice is there's double yellow lines everywhere. So you can't park down that road and you can't park in the street. You've got to park across the road. Now here I've zoomed in, and if you see where the bollards are, you have a look, that is probably the entrance to the car park, and there's a nice big car park there. And what you used to do was you used to go to the doctors, go to the chemist and give them your prescription, and you go and sit in your car. As you can see, it was just a walk across the road. And what I will do in the next chapter is I will show you where the chemist used to be. The chemist was small, like all chemists are, apart from supermarket ones, and you just sat in your car. If you had to do the walk to the car park in the pouring rain, you're sick, elderly, all the rest of the things, you got soaked. It was convenient. Anyway, what I'll do now is I'll show you what's left of the chemist. Now, you may be asking yourself, what has the closing of a car park and a chemist what is the effect it has on the Morrisons Daily closing and the post office. It's not the main effect, but it is an effect, and it takes business out of the town. So what people used to do with repeat prescriptions was they used to use that chemist because it was out of habit. You walk out the doctor's, you go to the chemist, you sit in your car across the road, then you go and get your prescriptions. Or in some cases, they would go round the corner and go to Morrison's and the post office. It wasn't expensive to park there. It was easy. Or you could park in the high street for free and walk round to Morrison's. So you've lost that traffic, because people can go to Victoria Road where they can park easily on a 6 months of the year wet cold day in the UK and walk straight in. They are not going to get soaked walking across the road, and it's free. They can go to Tesco's and get their prescriptions. It's free. People are creatures of habit, and even though they may have known that Tesco's was easier on Victoria Road, they would use the chemist that was their habit, or pharmacy if you're an American. But once that habit's disrupted, they start looking elsewhere. It's common business sense. And before Horley councillors say, oh, we needed the homes, well, they stuck up a load of homes in Westvale already. They're taking people out of the town. Anyway, what I'll show you now is the walk that's needed to go to the doctors from the car park. So you will see my point. It all feeds into one. So now the car park's gone. It's a wet November day. Remember, in the UK, for 6 months of the year the weather is awful. Sorry about my shadow. If you're a pensioner and you're sick, or you're disabled, or you don't know how to use Ringo, and I'm not sure this is a Ringo car park, so you've got to walk up. It's pouring down with rain, you're sick, you're going to the doctors, you've got to either pay or do the Ringo, and then you're walking across a car park. And I've done it, trust me, very often. It's slippery and icy in winter, and bear in mind you're going to the doctors because you are sick. Now I'm walking quite quickly, so I've been out of my car a minute. It's pouring with rain, I'm ill, maybe I'm disabled, or I've got some other issues. I'm walking along here to go to the doctors. Now, according to the council, I should be riding a push bike. However, yeah, I'm sick. It's pouring with rain, it's freezing, it's winter. Here we go. So you know what it's like in winter in the UK, those that live here? It's absolutely pours, it's cold, it's freezing, you feel ill. And you're walking along here. Now it's not busy at this time of day because it's not even 7 o'clock yet, I don't think. And I'm walking along the road. So I've been in the rain for 2 minutes. And remember, I'm walking quite quickly. Now, to cross this road at a busy time of day after 9 o'clock, I could be standing there for a minute. I have done this. So here I am. I get into the doctor's. Here we go. So I turn around, excuse my dress. Just come out to do this before it gets busy. So, remember, during the busy period, which is from 9 o'clock onwards, I'm waiting here to cross the road. I cross the road. And what I should point out again is, I'll cross the road again, sorry to be a little bit dysfunctional here. The car park was where that block of flats are. So before, I could walk out in, be in the doctor's in a few minutes. And a housing problem? I don't think so. They've just built thousands of houses at a new estate called Westvale. So then I've got to contend with the cyclists, which there aren't any. The only cyclists you have in Horley are those doing a paper round that I normally see. So I cross the road. And you can see, and obviously you can see I'm walking quite quickly. I'm probably walking twice as fast as the average person due to my height. And I keep going. And let's not forget, October, November, December, January, February, March into April, the weather in the UK 9 times out of 10 is atrocious. Now there isn't a Chemist there anymore, but since the parking went, people stopped using it. I believe it was a Lloyd's Chemist. Now, I've been out of my car by about 10 seconds showing where the flats have been put, where the car park is. When you're sick, you don't feel well, and you're going to the doctors, and you spend 4 minutes in the pouring rain, you're elderly maybe, or you're feeling slow because you're ill, that 4 minutes can feel like half an hour. The mind boggles. Okay, I'm going to show you why Morrisons and the post office are going. And you can see here, if I just can turn over, you can see the building, maybe the post office sign. I'm on my own, but there you go, there's the post office and Morrisons is there. I can't hold my phone in the car for obvious reasons. So Morrisons and the post office is going. And here we go. And I'll show you why. Now, on this site used to be a pub called the Game Bird. And they've now put a Lidl's. So, and here it is. And I can understand Morrison's pulling out because you've got a Tesco's at Hookwood and you've got Lidl's here. And I'll show you. Hopefully the traffic lights will change quickly. Here we go. So, now, why would anybody go and park across the road in the pouring rain to go to Morrison's when they can come in here into Lidl's? Here we are. Nice big supermarket. I'm subject to timing. I can be in here and I can park my car and I can shop. Unbelievable. There was a pub here, gone, and in their wisdom, the Horley Council, or Reigate and Banstead Council, decided to give planning permission to this. No offence to the staff who work here or what happens here, but it's the best way to take people out of town. And did we really need this? This is what you've got to ask yourself. I'm going to show this for people that don't live round here. Sorry about this, it's my air conditioning, it's very hot and it's freezing any moisture on the windows. Sorry about this. So I'm going to come out of here. Now, don't believe me, let's get this off the screen. about it. I can't hold the phone for obvious reasons. So here I go. And it's interesting for people that don't see, because you can actually see the effect of these decisions. So what have I done? A mile maybe? So I'm on some traffic lights. Left is to Gatwick for those that do not know. Oh, I know what it is. It's moisture coming off the bonnet. That's what's causing it. But you'll get the point. Go. Yes, there is the encumbrance of the traffic light, but there's a Londis stall there. They're great, these mobile phone holders, because if you're holding your phone in the car, even if you're holding your phone, it's 6 points and probably a £600 fine. So, the council decided we needed another store. And here we have a huge, massive Tesco's. Oh, I can avoid these humps going through at this time. That's nice, isn't it? And there you can see it. I'm not going to go in, but there is a huge Tesco store. There we go. So people are going to use cars to go shopping, despite what our local council thinks, its obsession with push bikes. Unfortunately, a woman with 3 children, or even me going shopping, I'm not going to do it on a push bike. And people go to shops to go shopping. And I'll do the journey back. So even going back, so what have I got? Let me look at my odometer. So I've set it to 0. Sorry about the sun, I can't do anything about it. There's an Asda Express there. They were told, there was loads of people on social media said that it's going to take people out the town. And lo and behold, so I have done 0.4 a mile. So I've done half a mile. So between the old Lidl's that's now closed in the middle of town, which is not even a mile, and here I am now. I can't touch the phone because I'm driving and swinging round. I'm on my own. But here I am at the traffic lights, and here's the new Lidl's. So 0.6 of a mile away is a perfectly good supermarket. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So having seen these videos, you've seen them. What I suggest is the main reason that Morrisons is closing because of the Lidl store, and obviously they're losing all the people that pick up repeat prescriptions because they've gone elsewhere, because the parking's gone and the Chemist has gone, so that has taken foot traffic out of the town. Now what I'm going to show you now is the journey from that post office to the only post office that I believe is available, and you will see, thanks to council decisions amongst other things, what we are left with as a post office in Horley. Okay, well here's the old post office. It's going to be closing, and I'll show you where the next nearest one is. According to, I think it was the Reigate News or one such tabloid. So people who use that post office who live in the town centre, this is the next nearest post office. Now obviously this is a problem. Where there is a lack of parking in Horley, so if you want to go into the post office for 5 minutes, you've got to pay in the car park across the road. You used to be able to park opposite what was a Chemist. That's now gone because of the flats. The council are in the process of making the high street a one-way street and a cycle lane. There used to be free parking there, so you used to be able to park there and walk across to the post office. Now the only cyclist I see in Horley are newspaper boys. I've nothing against cyclists, but let's get real. Anyway, so here we go. So you're somebody who doesn't own a car, elderly, there's a lot of old people in Horley, a lot of elderly people. And I will show you what, according to the local tabloids, is the post office that is available. I don't blame Morrisons for I need fuel. I don't blame Morrisons for pulling out with that Lidl's there. It's killed it. With the free parking gone in the high street, it's killed it. Totally killed it. In my opinion, our council are turning Horley into a no-go zone for anybody who's got the remotest business acumen in their brain. And here it is. Now you can see here, it's a private area, private homes, and you'll see when I pull in, these are the spaces. There's 1, 2, 3 and 1 disabled. So if people are going to have to drive to here, I'm going to pull out. If people are going to have to drive to here, think of the inconvenience for the people living around here. It's ridiculous. I mean, look, it's I can't park out because it's a drop curb, it's a drive, and you can see going round here where people live, it's nowhere to park. There's nowhere to park. And what are they thinking? They live in Bumblebee land. And I'll reverse round here. I'll tell you what, this mobile phone mount is one of the best things I've ever bought. So, this is what's going to happen. Well, not everybody's got an SUV like I am in today. You can see the way this is up and down because people have parked on it. Total madness, total madness. I don't know how many of you have been in this post office, but this is how it used to be. There used to be 2 counters there. You used to walk in, turn right, there'd be 2 counters. You walk in there straight through the door. It is like a backstreet post office from the 70s. It's just one counter. That is it. Where you queue, you're queuing down an aisle. There's nowhere to queue. The post office does not have the capacity or the facilities to do with a major influx of customers. Apart from the fact there is stuff being stolen because people are right by the shelves, it's madness. Madness. And watch this town die when these new fancy roadworks are done, with a nice push bike lane and a one-way system. So people cannot park, they cannot just park their cars, get out the car and pick up a sandwich, a roll or whatever. And I did say, I spoke to Richard Biggs, I've conversed with the Mayor of Horley, they are not interested. Anyway, I just thought I'd enlighten you to what's going on in the town and enjoy the nice weather. Thank you for watching.